No.
Oh, hello there. Welcome to session 2. I'm just kidding. Okay. So for the second meal that we're going to do today, I know it's a little late and we just having too much fun in the summer. I don't know what to say. So we are going to be doing lobster ravioli and shrimp. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Can you see that? Okay. So same thing as the other one. They gave you the stuff on the back. Mr. Ortiz is going to show you kind of the counter, what we have as I talk. If you can like angle it down. Okay, so that trash bowl, guys, I was talking about. Again, I don't work for Paper Chef, but just something I love. So this is the collapsible bowl. And I don't know why it's my favorite, like bowl, popcorn bowl again, maybe. Bowl for the kitchen and popcorn. So anyways, that trash bowl I was talking about, I like to use this as the trash bowl. Easy to clean, easy to put away, and good for your popcorn that you make. And then some of the other tools that you'll need. Some of the ingredients we added tonight were just butter and salt and pepper, and then I always add garlic. Mom knows me. So nothing that you typically wouldn't have at home. And then the other ingredients that they gave us, the only thing we've already done is we actually froze all of our meats and ravioli before when we got the package in the mail because we weren't ready to start the meals. So we defrosted the shrimp, which you can do as long as you freeze it within 7 days of getting it. We have let the ravioli sit out a little bit because it was frozen. And that's about it. So the first thing it has me do is I'm going to wash and dry all the produce. But in the meantime, I'm going to bring a pot of water to boil. And that part, you just need a large pot. If you get the box, it'll tell you how to do it. But this is actually one of the premium meals, which basically just means we paid like an extra $1 or $2 to get a fancier meal. And hey, I mean, so far this week we have $10 meals. I'm okay paying $12 a meal, $1 extra for each of us to get lobster ravioli. I mean, shrimp are good, but lobster ravioli, come on. So I'm going to start my water on high. And it does say salted water. So I'm just going to grab my salt and add a little bit to my pot while it is starting to boil. And then it says wash and dry all produce. So while that is starting to boil, I am going to wash the tomatoes. It gives you a whole container of tomatoes that you would typically get at the store. Just this right here would have cost me between $2.99 and $4.99, depending on if I got regular or organic. These are just regular field to farm produce. Not really sure if they're organic or not, but still would have been $2 to $4 regular tomatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse this in my strainer. And then I'm going to half all of my tomatoes. I feel like we should sing like our ABCs or something while we have these minutes. Maybe we'll start adding in some music. Yeah. If only I was a machine. And I would just watch the tomatoes get halved like you on TV.
It's kind of weird.
Well, you are watching me right now. I'm just saying it. 5 hours later in the land of half tomatoes.
So what do you think what did you talk about the first meal that we had?
What did you think about the first meal? I think we should flip the camera around and talk to the audience for a minute.
Oh, God.
About that one, why I finished half of these.
Hey, guys. So basically, like, me and Megan, as everybody knows, if you guys were watching the first video, we're trying, like, this new, obviously fresh eating instead of going out and eating and buying food.
Mister,
you know,
we're talking about the first meal here, not our life story.
I know, but so to make a long story short, I mean, the first meal that we had was, what was it, pork pizza or pork pizzas and side salad, and I mean, I just think that is been so far. The food has been very good. I mean, I like to eat, but
We've only had one meal.
yeah, but still, I mean,
Anyway.
even though it's only been one meal, I mean, I still like the fact that, you know, it's fresh food and, you know, and it's not having to go out. So I really think that it is gonna work. And anyways, I'm gonna put you back to Megan.
Okay, that was an almost brief intermission. Voila! Tomatoes cut. All right, the next thing it wants you to do is mince the garlic. Came with these cute little garlic cloves. And another Paper Chef, it's one of my favorites. Actually, I grew up my mom having this. But it is the garlic press, or mincer, whatever the actual technical term is. So it says that you can mince or grate it. I'm just going to go ahead and use my Paper Chef tool. And put that in my trash bucket.
That is very useful.
And you just put the two in there like this. And the little, I guess, metal foot comes down. And then you just press the garlic in. I usually use like a knife or a spatula, whatever you have handy. I always open it again. I mean, I'm one of those, I really like garlic, so I don't mind moving it around a little bit to see if the little pieces come out of it. Come on, one more. No, I'm just kidding. We can always add other garlic. And then you just open the back and take the peel out if there's any peel left. And I don't have the tool out here with me right now, but there's this little thing that goes in the back of it when you go to clean it, because some people are like, oh my gosh, all those pieces are going to get stuck in it. But no, it comes with this little cute plastic thing. So when you go to clean it, it just clips over that and kind of cleans it backwards, if that makes sense. So it's very easy to clean. And normally if I rinse it right after I use it, when I go to wash it, it doesn't take very long at all. Okay. So we have our tomatoes cut in half, our minced garlic, and then it says to pick the tarragon leaves from the stems and chop until we have a tablespoon. So it comes with this cute little thing of fresh tarragon. Fresh farm-grown tarragon. I don't know if I had it before. But I'm going to go ahead and rip the leaves off of this. And it says you want you to have... Yeah, kind of smells like licorice.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what tarragon is, and I just learned something new by myself. This is really funky. I've never ripped the leaves off the tarragon before.
You're abusing it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you're doing that so precise.
Listen, precise. Getting all my dang tarragon leaves, okay? So
Chef Ramsay would have been very proud.
get that out of my face. I feel like there's a simpler way to do this. Like you snap your fingers and this comes off the stem or something.
You snap your fingers.
You know, in Mexico, yesterday when I used the cilantro, it said that in Mexico, it's typical to use the stem because they want to use all the pieces of the plant.
So,
I wish today's directions would have said that.
yeah.
So tear all the leaves. Why don't you just send me the leaves? Maybe I don't want to take them all off. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a I just feel like it's, he loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. Okay. Anywho.
It's like middle school.
I know, right? I remember I used to pick those leaves, and if I didn't have one, I would only rip that last one in half.
Oh.
So it was like, he doesn't love me. He loves me. Wee. You know, like to make it always be a winner.
Ah.
Yeah, just kidding. Anyways. Okay, I think I have like 12 tablespoons.
Well, now you're a winner.
Okay. So I'm going to get all those leaves. I'm going to put this in my trash. Hopefully that gives me enough. If not...
There you go.
I kind of have a crappy cutting board. I'm not going to lie. Alright, we're going to improvise. That was garbage. For what I wanted to do. It's like chalk on a chalkboard. Alright.
Ever had your teachers in high school put their nails towards the chalk?
No, I wasn't alive when we really had chalkboards, really. But I've seen it in a movie.
Oh.
All right.
Jesus. It's gonna be Flash.
Just trying to cut the dang seasonings. Babe, for Christmas I want some good cutting boards, okay? So I either have one that's about the size of a mouse, or I have one that just wants to move around the planet as I cut it up. Okay.
Well, you're the one who got it.
So, thank you for your encouragement. Not, baby, yes, of course. I'll get you whatever you want for Christmas. Okay.
I always get you stuff.
Okay.
That could be on one thing.
Pick tarragon leaves from some, then chop tomato, 1 tablespoon, cooked tomatoes, and garlic. So melt 1 tablespoon in a large pan over medium heat. You might have to come over here. My water is almost ready. You might have to come over here.
Oh, you meant now.
Oh, no, I meant tomorrow. I'm going to use half my butter. I asked you to get 4 tablespoons. I'm going to use half my butter and let that melt. If you want to watch that.
You want me to leave it in the butter?
Sure. They can watch it melt for a minute. Okay, so we're going to melt 1 tablespoon of butter in a large pan over medium heat. And then we're going to add the garlic and cook until fragrant. 1 to 2 minutes. And then I will add the tomatoes. And then I will season with salt and pepper. You want to go back here? One second. How's the butter doing?
Look at the butter go.
Oh, that was very cute.
You told me to put the butter on.
All right. So I'm going to let this melt.
It's melting slowly.
Thank you. God blesses you with his patience and kindness. All right, dude. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit because I'm slightly impatient. No. Can't you just send me some liquid real butter so I don't have to wait for it? I'm just kidding. I like how you're filming this butter and there's this big thing of sangria. Thank you, Sherry Butter. Let me just do some cheers to her for leaving me this sangria. It makes cooking that much fun. It makes watching the butter all worthwhile.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you don't like wine. All right, so my butter is almost melted. I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic. And if you are like me, you might. Yep. Good one, Megan. Look, this is why. Yep. I'm just going to dangerously add just a little bit more and some juice. Because that's how I'm doing it. And what it says is I'm going to melt that. And then I'm going to add the garlic, which I did, and cook until fragrant, which it's already pretty fragrant, so about a minute more. And then I'm going to add the tomatoes and cook until slightly softened while adding some salt and pepper. So I'll bring that over here. Meanwhile, we're almost ready. I'm going to show them what water looks like before it boils. Okay. So our butter's almost there.
Smells good.
It's almost fragrant enough. So that is just melted butter and garlic. It's almost ready for the tomatoes.
Ooh, look at that. I can smell it. Smell the garlic.
Water is about to start boiling.
You know how to say butter in Spanish?
Mantequilla.
Ah.
Oh, it's cute.
How do you say tomato in Spanish?
Tomato. This is not a Spanish class. This is a HelloFresh class.
It could be both.
No, thank you. Are you videotaping me or the food?
Oh,
Oh, you know, because they already know about me. They don't need to know more
Boy, you're
about
so
me.
cute and beautiful.
Oh, Jesus loves the children of America. Boy, you already got a ring on it. You
So?
you could put 2 rings on it if you want.
Oh.
I won't complain. But you already got one, that's all.
One day I'll get you a bigger ring.
Listen, I think I just threw the pepper all over this thing, Rita.
I think you did too.
Alright, so my tomatoes and my garlic are going to be cooking for a minute. I did just add a little bit of salt and pepper. And those are like more garlic. I did just add a little bit of my own minced garlic that I already had bought.
It smells so good.
So I'm going to let that cook. I check my card out, make sure I'm doing my stuff. Alright, so I'm going to give the tomatoes about another minute. And since the water's boiling, I'm going to go ahead and add my ravioli. And I'm going to cook until tender, about 2 or 3 minutes. Just come in a package like this. Don't try this at home. I mean, I tried it at home, but probably should use scissors. It's not exactly the safest way to do this. They didn't give me safety information on this.
We do have scissors.
Scissors or
Whatever.
scissors?
Whatever, teacher.
Alright, I'm going to add my noodles to that. And add ravioli to the pot, cook until tender, 2 or 3 minutes. Carefully scoop out some of the water of the ravioli water and then drain. So what they want you to do is take out a few of those scoops in about 2 minutes when the ravioli's done. And you're going to set that aside because what's going to happen by the end is you're going to create like a cream sauce. And so what they do say is to add that, since it has a little bit of the pasta flavor, to the side, so that if your sauce is too thick or it's too thick for your preference, that you can add a little bit of that ravioli water. I guess it's better than regular water. I don't really know. The point is to thin it out, but save a little bit of the water to the side and use it to thin your sauce if need be. I'm going to stir my tomato and garlic, which I'll give about 1 more minute. Because then, actually let me just turn it down a little bit because I don't want to cook this too much because I need it until the ravioli's done.
You got a lot of people watching.
And I will say with this, because I already know my man, it doesn't look like there's that many ravioli noodles in the dish. It looks like there's probably about 12. So if you're feeding, 2 people, one being, I would say in general people eat more pasta. It's probably bad, that's why that's the serving size. But I would say maybe even if you have a family of 3 or more, or even the family of 2, because if you have extra, you could always take it for lunch or send it with your husband or kid for lunch. That'd be a very premium lunch. But you could always save it, so I don't think it would hurt to add like your own thing of pasta on the side. Obviously you have to add stuff to your sauce, but this recipe is so simple that I think if you did like it, like I feel like we do, it already smells delicious, that you could just kind of increase your recipe a little bit so that it would be more filling for some. So I'm going to give the pasta another minute. Smells like lobster.
I can't wait to have lobster on the cruise.
I'm going to add, focus in Zimbabwe. I'm going to add just a bowl right here to remind me that once I get the ravioli out, I'm going to actually save some of the juice. And I'm going to get a little bowl to use for my ravioli. Because I'm going to actually put my ravioli. Well, you know what? They said to put it in here, but if I can just transfer, I'm just going to transfer it. Who likes to burn an extra bowl? Alright, about 30-45 seconds. I'm going to go ahead actually and cook the shrimp. So since that is ready, I'm going to go ahead and rinse the shrimp under cool water and then pat dry with a paper towel. I'm going to come over here. So I have my rack. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure, obviously with seafood, any other meats, that you clean the sink well, clean your dishes well. I know that's probably common sense, but some of us may forget to do that. So just make sure you clean this down well after you use it, especially the dishes in there. I'm going to try to get excess water out. Same thing for my rack that I'm going to use to dry these. I'll make sure to clean that well with disinfectant, bleach, whatever I need to use. Carefully. To make sure I don't contaminate anything. And I'm actually going to transfer the shrimp over to our tomato and garlic. And I'm going to cook until they're just a little bit pink. You can smell the ravioli, so those are probably almost done too. It smells delicious.
Yes, it does.
Just remember, if you do choose to freeze your meats like we did when we got it in, because we actually got it on a Friday and everybody knows weekends are a little more out. Not that we want to cook, but I'd like to save those meals for the week when we tend to be even busier and on more of a time constraint, because we can still eat good. And like this premium meal that we just paid just a little extra for, we can eat good during the week and not make a bad decision. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. The noodles are done. I'm going to go ahead and scoop out my ravioli water. My ravioli water reserve. It just says a few splashes. So maybe 2 to 4 tablespoons. You always obviously can dump it out. Maybe I'll do some more to be safe. You can always dump it out, you know, if you don't end up using it. This season with salt and pepper. If you don't like pepper like my mama, maybe don't add it, but we aren't too picky here. Again, with salts to taste. You can always add more later. Don't ruin your HelloFresh meal by dumping 12 pounds into it when you cook. But it is nice to add a little bit. Those who do cook know that it just does give it just a tiny bit more flavor. But obviously that's up to your health decisions too. Alright, I'm just gonna let that cook. And we are now gonna work on the cream sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and drain these noodles because I don't want them to overcook. And what I did is, I don't know about you, but I always feel like I burn myself, so I always get a bigger bowl. It could be a glass or plastic bowl, but obviously you need to make sure your bowl is big enough to hold the liquid. But I feel like when I just dump from the strainer into the sink, I always burn myself somehow. So this is just a me thing. This is just no special bowl. It's probably like $1 at dollar store. But I put my strainer in the bowl, and then I strain it, and then I set it into my sink, making sure I get the rest of it. And I don't know why. I made that up one day and it worked. But I tend to not burn myself. And I'm going to bring that back over here. I'm going to add my ravioli to the pan with the shrimp. So you see it's not too much. I mean, it's enough. Like, I only need maybe 3 or 4. So we may be okay tonight. But those that, you know, if I had a hungrier night, been trying to do a little bit of portion control, so I feel like I've gotten a little better with that. But you know, if it was just a little hungrier night, you know, you do have late nights where you're extra hungry. Well, I'd rather eat a fresh meal and have a couple extra servings than go through the drive-thru and have a couple extra or 4 servings. So I'm going to add my ravioli, add that to the sink. I'm going to gently stir in. Came with sour cream, butter, and chopped tarragon. So it came with 2 packs of sour cream, and then the rest of my butter that I kind of already had, and my tarragon I'll add in just a minute. Again, this is just on like a low medium. I don't want my sauce to burn out completely. Babe, can I have my trash bowl, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
No problem.
get all messy. I'd probably cut this in the future. Wow. I killed the pepper. Even though it's perforated. Anybody ever have a yogurt explode on them? Yeah, me too. So a little bit scared of this stuff popping out of my face. Yeah, it's like a Go-Gurt or something. I remember. I just wore the yogurt that day in first grade, I remember. It was all over me and my face, everything. Alright.
Remember when the ketchup exploded on you?
Yes. Just like when they asked the Ramseys, yep. That was a beautiful thing. Ketchup right all over my outfit. Yogurt was a little easier to hide than ketchup. Mention that.
This is really good.
Notice too, those that watched me the other day, as I got done with stuff, I tried to kind of add it to the sink. It just helped with cleanup afterwards. As you stir all those things together. Again, I just added butter, tarragon, and then sour cream. And those were all the butter I had, but just simple, small amounts. Again, one of the benefits that we've already seen is we're not going to the store buying whole packages of stuff that would probably go bad. Sometimes when you buy things like tarragon, which this is probably the first time in my life I've used it, you buy the whole thing and then you end up throwing it away. Jose knows. End up throwing it away because you have to buy the whole thing, organic or regular, and then you end up throwing it away because it goes bad. It's really depressing.
And wasting money.
Who wants rotten food? All right, so I'm gonna let that sit for a second. It says if our sauce is too thick that we can add water, but I think in my opinion, babe, unless you feel differently, I think that the consistency is pretty nice.
Yeah. Creamy.
Because as you cook it, it'll thicken just a little bit.
Looks very good.
But that's it. That's it. So I'm just gonna maybe I'm gonna let that just simmer for a minute. Again, that was the lobster and shrimp ravioli. So your vegetables, your meat, and your carbs. I know I'm trying to think of a different word, but anyways, all of those things, starches, bad. But all those things are in the one plate. Again, with this one, it's good a size for me, but if you have more than 2 people or you have someone in your family that just tends to eat just a little bit more, nothing wrong with that, then you may have to, substitute or complement it with something else. Even if you had maybe like fresh bread on the table or something, that might help that person that just wants a little bit more because that would be filling. But what we'll do is we'll spend about 2 minutes cleaning up, and then we'll make a plate, and then I will have my cameraman get on and tell you what it tastes like. Thanks for watching.